Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Seeds of Time, session 2.95. Think about it. Because we're going to have a filler episode, but is it really filler if there's a lot of content? Yes.
I called it session 2.10, so it is now 2.10.
I mean, okay, well, there you go. Anyway, one of our pivotal members, Maris Everstorm, unfortunately is seeing his family for the weekend. We wish him well. And in the meantime, we decided to reel the time. I know, for shame. How could you see your family? D&D is more important. Regardless. We're going to roll the time back a couple weeks when the party was sailing the seas from Cape Doklu to Laka Shell. To have a bit of a exploration, deep dive, if you will, of our characters' lives and their thoughts of all that has happened prior in their lives. So we come into it is late at night. The ship is softly sailing through this this coast of small little islands that you're passing your way through to get to the open seas that leads towards Laka Shell. A few crates float by. You can see below that there are fishes slowly drifting their way to and from your direction. And you see the little islands next to you. Some of them lit with lights of civilization. Others completely barren, save for a few trees and some bushes. It is calm. It is peaceful. At this time. On the ship, with its brass machinations slowly channeling out the smoke and whirring its way forward, we go inside the ship, in the kitchen, where we see Lyric cooking up another meal, just looking over his all these ingredients and smiling and nodding. And he looks a little sickly as he turns towards a Rinky and a name, as they look at him with whimsical smiles of that a goblin and a flump would naturally give. And he sets down to start working on his beautiful assortment of vegetables and fruits to feed his adventurous party, who are all over the ship, doing whatever they can to pass the time. And so, what are you guys doing?
Is Lyric still up here? Or is he down below recovering?
He is down below. He is currently in the kitchen. You don't really know. It's been a day since you left from Cape Doklu, and he was infirmed in the bed after being rescued by Little Pub. But he quickly sprung up, oddly enough, and it didn't necessarily discuss what had happened.
I think I'll start heading towards the kitchen.
Okay. When you head down the stairs and into that cozy little dining room with a table laid out, chairs pulled out, Rinky scrubbing the table much as he can do, and name flying around and shifting colors, and finally kind of just flumps on your head. There's a little static. Hello.
Oh, hi, Neem.
Name turns all red and pink, and zooms in the air.
Kimmy just giggles and goes, I think they need some help upstairs if you want to help Lilipo with the sails.
Name kind of pudges up and gives like a little salute. And then
I'm gonna keep going toward the kitchen.
Rinky looks up and speaks in Goblin. Not Howie.
And a fine evening to you too, Dinky.
Dinky nods because the DM once again mispronounced his name.
It's Rip Rinky.
Rinky will never be forgotten because the DM never forgets that damn name. Too similar. The Caesar Time lore masters are just like throwing their arms in the air. They're just like, oh my god, this DM doesn't make up his damn mind.
AKA Toby in their notes, like, god damn it.
Really, though?
There's pretty much a counter ledger that Toby is doing now. Like, oh, this is the 15th billionth time he said Rinky instead of Dinky.
We're gonna put it in the wiki.
Yeah,
Caesar Time wiki.
There's a whole like Wikipedia article about it. You know, it's glorious. So Kimmy, you walk in, you see Lyric is hard at work, trying his best to look chipper as he turns around and sees you and says, "Oh, Kimmy, how are you doing? Sorry."
You shouldn't be in here. Here, give me that. And I like take the utensils from him. I'll take over. You need to rest.
It just kind of haphazardly lets you take the utensils, and he's like, "Oh, well, if you insist."
You should sit down.
He like plops on the counter, and then kind of crosses his arms and leans against like a cabinet. Ugh. You know, I'm fine, Kimmy. I'm fine. Just a little worn out. You know, all of what happened at Cape Doklu was quite a mess.
I know, and that's why you need to rest more than importantly than anything.
I couldn't rest. Too many dreams.
What kind of dreams?
Not the good kind.
Well, leave it to me, and I'll cook us all dinner.
Kimmy, I'm sure Lilliput's told you, but I went through belongings trying to gather up a good meal, and I found something.
What did you find?
Something dark, something... I don't know what it was. It's like a pyramid or something, and when I touched it, and he kind of like rubs his temples, it was overwhelming.
Kimmy like puts the utensils down on the counter and walks over to Lyric and kind of like squats a bit and goes, "It's okay. You just need to take some time to rest and it'll be okay."
It felt like a nightmare when I touched it, Kimmy, and but the thing is there was things I seen that I can't remember now. But it felt so important, so necessary to remember those things when I was experiencing it. But now it's frustrating.
Kimmy like interrupts him and goes like, "Shh, it's gonna be okay. Here, take my arm. We'll put you back in bed, okay?" She's kind of like dismissing him, kind of.
He doesn't put up a fight. And you walk him through the hallway, through each room, and then finally his little room in the middle. You open it up, and you can see he's got like barrels of various vegetables and fruits, and he's got his like shining silver cutlery all hanging up on a wall, and he's got like a ledger sitting on his little night table, and he's got like a simple little cot bed.
Alright, now you're gonna lay back down, and I don't expect you to get up, okay? I'll come back to check on you later, and I'll bring dinner for you.
Lyric lays down, and he grabs your arm and pulls you in, and he's like, "Kimmy, I've been a fool. I've taken you all for granted."
Shh, none of that nonsense now, okay? Just get some rest.
Lyric nods. Thank you, Kimmy. Ugh. And it just starts snoring.
And Kimmy just, like, rubs her head, like, okay, now I gotta go cook dinner.
You hear through the wall, well, is something on fire?
Oh no!
So Kimmy,
I
you
run to
go
the
in
kitchen.
Yeah, it's on fire. There's a fire cooking. Do an acrobatics check. See how quickly you can fluff out this fire.
We gotta get some rolls in.
Oh my god!
Oh no, Bioko, you're walking out. You're smelling. And you get leads into the kitchen. You open it up, and you see Kimmy just flailing their arms, just trying to whisk this fire down.
I'm like hitting it with a spatula. Like, no!
Bad fire, bad.
I silently close the door again.
Sebastian, how quickly could you build a boat from scratch?
Well, I mean, you mean like an actual boat, or like something
And
that's just like
Anaru is just going to point at the flames that are spouting from below deck.
Sebastian's eyes probably go wide, and like he doesn't say it, but in his head, he's just like, "Liark!"
Alaric in his bed.
His nose just starts bleeding.
I was only trying to help. So everybody on top deck now can see the smoke fuming. What do you guys do?
Well, I suppose we can do something to help. And Anaru is just going to cast Control Water, and he's going to, like, make a stream of water come from the ocean and glide below deck to help smother some of the flames.
And Kimmy, as you're patting it down with a spatula and trying to whisk wind, there's a huge, like, tidal wave of water just comes splashing through, knocking you off your feet. And all the pots and pans go flying to the walls along with you. And the water eventually kind of makes its way out, but the fire is gone.
She just gets up off the floor and she's just sopping wet, and she's just like, oh, thank God. Thank Laka. She's gonna come out and be like, sorry.
So are we fending for ourselves tonight? Is dinner off the menu?
I could try again.
No, I think you've tried enough for several evenings. How do you all feel about a fresh fish dinner?
Lilliput slides down the mast pole, like, yeah.
Beep, 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 beep.
Cannibalism.
A slideshow goes by of Kimmy burning food and then Anaru asking the same question for the last, like, 5 days.
Montage.
Her hair is just getting curlier and curlier from being burnt.
Kind of liking this new look.
Just please catch anything but another tuna.
All right, Janari, why don't you try... Let's try a perception check. See if you could spot a good enough fish.
6.
Jesus Christ.
The
So
smoke is still in my eyes.
Glad we're
Sorry.
not doing combat.
So yeah, you're just kind of blinking, not really spotting anything in the darkness of the night, even with your special eyes.
It might be easier if I got in the water and took a look first.
Ooh, send Lilliput. She's great at fishing.
Lilliput, care to join me?
Hardy like runs past you like
Just a large splash. Slime-covered splash.
Fish cannonball.
Are we still moving?
Yeah, but it's like a slow drift. It's like
I'm going to just sigh and like slowly start making way like up to where the release is to the fucking anchor.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I played Sea of Thieves too many times with y'all, and like jump off the boat, it's fine. Like no, you have to stop the boat. The boat keeps moving. It's ocean. It'll pull it away.
Look, my character in Seas of Thieves didn't have a very fast swimming speed like Lilliput does. Don't worry, I could trek the ocean faster than this boat right now.
It's just, energy. Effort.
That too, yeah.
So as you two dive into the darkness of this sea, you can see below. You could see the coast only like about 200 feet out to the east of you, and you can see a couple of little fishes come up, all in silhouettes, passing you by. You can see like the fauna and the coral all kind of glowing off the moonlight, and some phosphorescent lights going off the lower. You look below into the sea, and as you two are just kind of swimming, casually through, looking for your next meal, you two can roll a perception check.
I will give you advantage. I'll help you look.
She just nods. Like all those little fish, nothing. She's looking for that big one. Kimmy might be hungry. Yeah, 15. What can you do?
What can you do? So you find a giant sea eel just lurking around. It could serve up a pretty good meal.
She stops and grabs Anaru's shoulder and just points quietly that one.
How big is it compared to us?
It's about say it's about 20 foot long. This is a big one, but nothing you haven't handled.
Anaru will apparate his echo and will start swimming around behind it to flank it so that we can all just swoop in for the kill.
Yep. In the darkness of the sea, your apparition appears, ready to strike. Lilliput, how do you set up your hunt?
She pulls out her because she definitely jumped into the water with it. Why wouldn't she? I haven't used this weapon in 3 weeks. Hold on a second. You know what? All claws, baby.
All claws.
All claws all the time.
Okay. So you roll in with your claws out. Anaru gets into position. I want y'all to do athletics checks for me.
13.
Okay.
Sorry, it's I'm where's everything again?
Mm-hmm. What game is this?
Where are we? Wow, 12. It really is RP rolls tonight.
Even with that, a little struggle, you two managed to cleave into this. Was a successful ambush from Anaru's apparition, and the ferocity of Lilliput's claws just ripping and tearing into nice little chunks, able to transport safely back home.
Yeah, I'll just throw some of the bigger pieces into the net that I brought with me.
All right.
And we'll drag it back to the boat.
Okay.
Lillipa would help you, like she has one side of the net, you got the other side of the net. We're just swimming back, and she's looking back. She has like a piece of it already, like chewing on it, like good.
The
And
Echo is trailing behind, like catching pieces in his mouth, but they're like popping out the back of his head.
Ow. And you two are just kind of quietly drifting along, swimming back to the ship. As you can see, it's coming up within like 60 feet. Looking to your left and right, you can see the passings of those glowing coral and beautifully moonlit sea plants and shells and little crates and chests buried or drifting along with you.
As they're swimming along, Anara is just gonna glance over at Lillipa and just ask, "Do you miss it?
Miss what?
The calm serenity of the sea?"
Yes. But we are here now. And this is as good as it will get for now.
I agree. Life has been quite interesting since venturing to the surface, but I feel that life below will never be the same.
Sometimes I wonder if my home is still where it was. And like she like points like down like to Underdark levels.
I for one agree. I know that my home still exists, but I also know that it will never be the same.
Well, I have a new home now, and it does fine.
If we found your home on our journeys and it was a welcoming place for you, would you stay?
She like goes quiet and like sees a fish go by and she makes a stink eye at it. Like, this is our food, fuck off. Then looks back at you and that is hard to say. Home was more than just the place, it was the people that was also there, and I know that they are no longer there. So, I probably would not. Unless Kimmy decided to stay, which would be strange, but...
It would. She would have to grow gills or she would probably die very quickly.
There was parts where our village was not submerged. She could live. Although she would be hard to see things. Would need new eyes.
I have dreams some nights of waking up in my bed in my chambers at home and imagining seeing the familiar faces as I look out the windows at, soldiers and the commoners, but I don't think I could ever return to that.
Why not?
For one, I never felt at home. I never felt like I belonged, but part of me was glad that I was on the front lines and exploring the world and drawing swords and killing others, fighting to the death, but home was too simple. It was follow your orders and that was that. Things are much more interesting now.
She kind of like raises an eye when you're just like killing others. She's just like, okay. Yes, you sound like you are not meant for a simple life.
I mean, as simple as following or giving orders is, yes, it's quite a comfort to not quite know what the next day is going to bring.
Hmm. I think I am more of a... what is the word? Stability. Too much unpredictableness. It is frustrating.
So perhaps it would do you well to seek out a more sedentary life. Settle down and find some place to live.
Hmm.
Well, I hope that we're able to find that. Whatever it is we seek, I hope we're able to find it wherever we're going.
Sometimes I miss the home that Kimmy and I had in... It's been a long time. What's the home
Zeratin's
called,
Gate.
Michael? Thank you. Thank you. Jesus Christ. I'm getting up. It's like you're reading a line and you're like, oh god.
Line.
Yeah, you're like, line.
Line.
Kimmy Hungy. Oh, thank you.
Kimmy Hungy? God, no. I miss Zeratin's Gate sometimes. Although there was unpredictability there too. It was more small.
I do wish that things were a bit more predictable, but it is exciting not knowing what the day will bring. Although it's, our predictability, at least we know that the food will be burned and we'll be able to catch fresh fish for dinner for most nights while Derek is tending to his wounds.
Mm-hmm. She just grabs she reaches in the net and grabs a chunk of fish and just says, "Do not tell others," and takes a bite out of it.
Of course.
Oh god.
And the two of you finally catch up to the ship and start climbing up the net on the side of the hull upwards, where you see your companions all tending to the ship's sails. You see Sebastian kind of sitting there on the anchor, ready to drop it at a moment's notice, but sees that you have catched up within a good time, chunking a huge pile of eel chunks onto the ship.
We brought food. It's well, it was still moving, but yes, eel for days.
Holy cow, this is freaking huge!
Yes, you should have seen the one that got away. There wasn't another one, it's just a saying.
Wow, this will feed us for days. Oh, and this is gonna be great.
Let's is Lyric feeling well enough to help in the kitchen?
No, he is getting rest.
Kimmy, I think that Miyoko needs your help over there.
What?
Looks at Miyoko.
And Anari just runs below deck with the net.
Maris goes, "I will go and tenderize the meat with my punches." And then he backflips into the...
Yeah.
I had to get one. Okay, I had to get one Maris bit. Gotta do it with every character.
Go slap that meat.
Flurry of tender.
Go beat that meat, dude.
Oh.
Please.
Oh my god. Okay, anyway.
While they're all cooking and stuff, is Sebastian still by the anchor?
Yeah.
Kimmy's gonna come over and be like, "So, what you doing tonight?"
What am I doing tonight?
Mm-hmm. Are you doing tinkering stuff?
Possibly. It depends on. I need to go down there and look at whatever damage Lyric did to the boat again.
Can I come with you?
If you want to, I thought you were helping Miyoko.
Looks back at Miyoko. Just sitting there.
Still just like, what?
I don't think Miyoko needs my help, but I would really love to watch you, if you wouldn't mind. She looks at you with puppy eyes.
I mean, if you want to. I mean, I don't really have anything planned. It happens. Whatever happens, happens.
Oh, awesome! I've always wanted to watch you tinker. I never got to see it up close.
Sebastian's just kind of standing there, like blankly blinking, like this girl's interpretation of fun is completely far off of what mine is. This is sure. Let me go show you how to undo the travesties that Lyric does to this boat every single day. He's touching things and he's mumbling as he's just walking down the ramp down. It's just like half of it you probably can't understand. He's just like that the goddamn doors, and I tell him every single time.
Kimmy's just following along, like all cheery, like, oh yay, I get to watch him tinker. Whatever that is.
You walk into the dining room and you see Lilliput and Anaru standing over in amazement as Maris just... And then you just kind of walk into the kitchen. And in the kitchen, you see black smeared everywhere, scorch marks, and some water still in there, about like an inch.
Sorry about that.
What do you mean you're sorry about that? I mean, you don't have to apologize for him. I mean, he's the one who should be saying sorry.
I was the one that said I would cook for him, and then I put him to bed, and I forgot that he had the stove on and was cooking, and so I had to come back, and she teeters off.
Either way, I need to see if there's actually any damage to the hull, or if it's just cosmetic, and then go from there.
Do you need a tool? I can get you a tool.
Well, right now I need to just look to see how bad it is. There's no need for tools right away.
Here, I can help. And then she does dancing lights to give you a better light.
Mm-hmm. And just like your kid holding the flashlight for you, it gives you advantage on your investigation check.
Oh, great! Now I get to yell at Kimmy the whole time, like, "No, you're holding it wrong. You need to hold it over there. What are you doing? You're doing it wrong.
Don't put your fingers in the way."
That's how your Uncle Larry lost half of his fingers. That's why his hand looks like the way it does.
Higher. No, too high. Don't look at it.
Now you're putting it in my eye.
So yeah, do an
It's too real,
investigation
guys. It's
with
too real.
Investigation.
With advantage.
With advantage.
Oh, that almost clicked disadvantage.
Jesus, these rolls.
What's going
Yeah,
on?
that light's a little too bright.
Just
okay?
get them all out.
Just get him out of here. Get it out of here.
Kimmy's trying their best to be helpful, but some of those lights are just a little too bright for.
Dancing too much.
It's like rave lights.
Less dancing, more just normal light, please.
Oh, you want a low setting, and there's like, pss, pss, no, stop with the oomps.
Stop with the rainbows.
All I can think of is like she got out the flashlight, like from like the cars broke down. She got out the flashlight and she go to turn it on, and some of those flashlights have like the
strobe
SOS
setting?
Yeah, and like she puts that on, and she's like, "I'm doing it." I'm just like, "Oh, my eyes!"
She takes out her tambourine and starts dancing along with it.
What are you doing?
I'm encouraging you.
So yeah, you do find it's not really that much to deduct that. There's just a couple of burnt marks and stuff like that. It can be scrubbed out, and the water can be bucketed and dumped out of the ship, and it's not too bad of hull damage. You could patch it up.
Okay. Well, luckily this time it's nothing too bad. It just wood probably needs to be sanded down, and then we need to revarnish that, and then we need to mop up this water first before it does any more damage. I mean, most of the wood should be treated because it's a ship for Pete's sake. But yeah, so we need I guess buckets, a mop, and then
A wrench?
Not quite a wrench.
A saw?
Well, not really saw. We'll need I think I have it in my room, unless Lilipha borrowed it because she was doing something with the wood. So we'll have to go see where those are. But for now, we just need to tidy up here and yeah.
Aye, Captain! And then Kimmy goes to find buckets. She just runs out of the room.
So, a couple of minutes pass of you getting the buckets ready, getting the soap, and start scrubbing down. You two are on the floor just scrubbing away after you dumped out the water, of course, and scrubbing the stove and the walls of all that ash and chard. And it's getting there. But as the minutes pass, you have time to reflect on what has transpired over the last couple weeks, and thoughts start flooding in of all the meals you've sat down with Lyric here, and how this was all happened within the last 2 weeks of your life.
This isn't really what I had in mind when you said you were a tinker.
No, what do you mean? The
I don't know.
cleaning?
I mean, I pictured you, I don't know, like sparks flying and metal and ka-chink, 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 with the hammer kind of thing. I don't know.
Oh, well, I mean, that stuff does happen when fabricating things, but I mean, we're working with a different material. We're working with wood. And I mean, tinkering doesn't always have to be just with metal manipulation. There's all sorts of different things. It's just basically like just either fixing things or enhancing how something works. Think that the term I'm thinking of more is like an engineer. Do you know what an engineer does?
Do I know what an engineer is, Michael?
Yes, you know what an engineer is.
Okay, yes, I know what an engineer is.
Oh, yeah, that's more kind of what I do. Like there's a thing, and either like I fix it or I'm trying to make it better and improve on it.
I like that word, enhance. I'm gonna put that in the song about you.
And about me. Oh.
Yeah, I'm making a song about everybody, and I haven't written a song about you yet.
Oh. Thank you. I'm not too keen on music. I only heard certain songs, and it's kind of limited, and just never had the chance to look at that type of stuff.
Well, that's the beauty of music. There's all kinds of different, types of music and different melodies and different rhythms, and there's music for everyone out there. We just gotta find yours.
Maybe someday you can show me these different musical styles. You're writing for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Is that part of like your academic procedure? Because you're continuing your schooling from the college, right?
Yeah, but this is different, because it comes from the soul. Like, I just gotta do it. Like, there's just this part of me that just needs to let this out. And music is a good way of letting it out. Like, nobody's tying me down to it. I just want to do it.
You can see he's probably trying to process this, like, concept.
It's like how none of us really tell you how to, tell you to come in here and start tinkering around with the kitchen, even though I almost blew it up. But you do it because there's just something about you that just feels like you need to do it. And I can tell you like it.
I mean, there's other things I would enjoy doing more, specifically, but I mean, I've always, I guess, just been the person to just try to fix the thing. And it's not the first time I've been stuck on a boat, so might as well. Everybody has a role they have to fill in, otherwise then the boat will go all catterwampus and turn into disarray. And
Well, I hope I get to learn, like, what you like to do. And I'm sure, like, the rest of us would love to, do what you love.
I think we're a little. What I would like to do, Kimmy, is put on the back burner right now of what we all have to do. It's nice to see that you still find time to embellish your hobbies and personal enjoyment. I guess I've been a little hard fixed on basically space aliens coming to blow up the planet, but
Well, that's the nice thing about doing something you love, because it always just seems to manifest into everything you do. Like my music, it can also help with, fighting monsters and stuff, and like it just keeps the drive going, and it keeps up morale too. Because we gotta keep up morale, or else, we'll just end up wanting to jump in that water and never come out. Which is great for Lilliput, because she can breathe underwater.
I was about to say, I think out of everybody, I think she would be the one that would jump in and we'd all get out, and then she just wouldn't get out because she'd be like, haha, you fools. I win.
What I'm trying to say is that if you don't keep up morale and you don't do something you love and fit it into everything that you do, then what's the point of living? And yeah, like, we have this big thing called the end of the world, but, we got it. In the meantime, we can't really do anything about that yet, so might as well write a song about everybody.
And you all start to finish up scrubbing the walls, and y'all take a step back, and you can see that it's clean, shiny, a little shine to it. Ding. It's spotless, immaculate, and you turn around and you see your compatriots all gathering around at the table over this giant several chunks of eel meat waiting to be cooked.
Alright, now I can cook the eel in this nice clean kitchen.
Does anybody want their eel fresh, uncooked, raw?
You already see like Lilipa like grabbing a piece of it and like stops bringing it to her mouth. She goes, "Oh, I could do either or."
Kimmy, how about a nice fresh salad to go with the eel?
Trust me, Anaru, I got this. And she just starts getting the eel and she goes back into the kitchen.
You think she's not going to be able to start a fire with a salad?
I'm going to slowly sneak to my room and try to find possibly a makeshift fire extinguisher. And try to walk back out with hiding it behind my back.
Easy enough. You're quite kitted out, ready for the inevitable. As you can hear the of the flames as Kimmy gets to work, making a scrumptious meal.
I'm gonna read the recipe book this time.
Do we hear any power tools being used right now while she's cooking?
Do I specifically hear a wrench sound?
Yeah. And this is how you tenderize it.
No, that's not how you use the wrench.
Maris standing over her. Yes, good, hit it.
Now I'll go. Okay, now you hit it with the wrench. Okay, I hit it again.
And do not forget to backflip.
Yeah, he just like backflips, kicks into her. Like, yeah, there you go, Kimmy, you got it.
Did I do good this time?
Why don't you do? Maris is gonna help you with the punching and the tenderizing, so get a advantage on a survival check.
Oh my god.
Wow. Maris, so what you...
Oh wait, I didn't do advantage, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're right. You lucky lass.
Do I just roll it normally?
Just
again?
roll it. Yeah, roll it.
Oh my god!
Kimmy
Yeah.
leaves the chat.
You don't burn the place down, but it doesn't... You didn't really follow the instructions too much. You kind of let Maris tenderize that meat just a tad bit overboard, and now it's mashed eel.
Who's hungry?
It's got a bowl of it. You're like, ugh. There you go.
Well, I'm tuckered out. I think I'm just gonna turn in early. Wasn't hungry anyway.
I will take 2 plates.
Thanks, Lilipa.
Valdra comes out of the room, starts walking towards the kitchen or the dining room, sits down, and looks at the bowl. Oh, eel. Grabs it. Starts like pouring her a plate. Looks around.
Oh yeah, you're here. No.
Yeah, I honestly totally forgot you were here.
Yeah, I've been sleeping a lot. It feels nice to not be surrounded by Tethian inquisitors for once. She just looks around at the party. Well, sit and eat with me, please.
Of course, and he'll pull her chair out so she can sit down. And
She's like, Anario, you don't... Quit treating me like royalty. I'm just a normal person here.
of course, old habits. My apologies.
She sits down next to Miyoko. And,
Sushi it is, I guess.
It's not so bad. And she like gets a scoop out and puts it on a plate and pushes it towards you. Well, who's sitting down?
Hey, Anaru, don't you have to check this for poison before she eats it?
I'm sure that a poison in it would probably benefit the dish.
Just take a bite, Anaru. And she like puts a spoon to your face.
It is your duty as a knight. Oh.
Kimmy's like, wait, there's poison in this?
Lilipa with her mouth full of or farm.
Got the spoon in your mouth. So, that's good. So, Anaru,
Anara begrudgingly takes a bite.
do a con save.
Oh no. Oh no.
Let's see if Maris washed his hands.
Oh no!
Oh, he did.
Oh, thank God.
That's what happens when you're large enough, so your hands are always washed. So, yeah, it's not too bad actually. You know, it's got a lot of love put into it or punched into it.
It's very chewy.
Yeah, you need a cup of water with this, you think, or some ale, lots of ale. Valdra looks over at Kimmy and says, "Thanks. You were the cook today, not the tabaxi."
Yeah, he needs to rest. I thought I read the recipe right, but I think I might have read the wrong one.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. The royal chefs at the kingdom would always mess it up, but you know they were just so charming about it. We just let them do it.
Kimmy kind of smiles, like, oh, thanks for cheering me up.
So Miyoko, do you have any of that wine left?
I'm going to be real. I honestly don't know where Larry gets it from. I just yell at him and he gets some out. I've never seen where it comes from.
Oh, I know where it is, and then Kimmy leaves to go find it.
I like to imagine that Kimmy runs into Larry's room and goes, "Larry, the wine!" And then he just pulls it from under the covers.
No, like you just see the shot of like Kimmy opening the door, like Lyric wine.
He's got a cellar of holding.
Nice.
Nice. That's gonna be a magic item.
Hell yeah.
Next session, the Nasarian priest has that. So as Kimmy is requisitioning some wine from Lyric, Valdra looks over at Miyoko and says, "While we're waiting on the wine, you know, I'm curious. Back there in the battle," she kind of like smirks, "the way you performed, I've seen that, but only with high-ranking nobility in the Tethian military, and only in simple practice of it. Blade song? Was that it?"
It's just like does like the shifty eyes back and forth. This eel is very good.
She like slowly nods. "Oh, I see." Looks around at Naru and Sebastian and Maris and Lilpa.
We're all staring at Miyoko.
I'm eating.
I stomp on Maris's foot, and when he keels over, I go, "Oh no, Maris, what happened to you? Oh, you must be hurting from the battle."
Oh,
The battle with the eel in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Oh!
that one.
oh. Sorry, guys. I have to go away. I'll be back.
No, I need to know your backstory. Get back here.
Oh, sorry. I just recovered. I did a short thinking about my life.
So, about the monk college or whatever.
The
Yeah.
monk college. Everybody came from a college. Sebastian came from tinkering
That's
college.
what Kimmy thinks.
College of punching.
Lilpa came from, eating college. Just.
Oh. She came from Special Eyes College.
Cool.
Thank you.
Special Eyes College.
I'm gonna wait till everyone else starts. I'm gonna wait till everyone else starts talking, and then I'll whisper very angrily, "Your Majesty, please do not bring up things that can get me assassinated during dinner."
Well, trust me in this, that you're safe because, I'm much more of a target than, a daughter of a very famous Kujaku school will ever be. No offense.
I totally understand.
Why are you keeping this from your friends?
I don't know who they work for. They could go back to anywhere and say anything.
She looks at you for a moment.
I'm staring at Dinky, who is staring at me through a crack in the doorway.
Just through the ship.
Yeah.
Kimmy just
Smooth
barges in. I got the wine!
Completely runs over Dinky.
Yeah.
Crushes him into the ground.
Into the water. And now Dinky's dead.
No!
Okay.
No!
Anara says, "Oh, I'm so glad I wasn't the only one to kill one."
Busted.
What?
What? Or he just
I
goes,
take-
"What?
I go-
What?"
I pull out 2 wine glasses and I go, "Oh, good, the wine is here. Now we can drink and forget everything." And I just put it down in front of the princess so hard that it shatters.
Oh my!
That's okay, I'll get another one!
We're only like a couple feet across from each other, right?
Yes.
Okay. Was Miyoko trying to cover up anything? Like,
Everything. She's trying to cover everything.
no, but I mean like your face.
No, she looked very panicked.
Okay. Sitting where I am, Michael, can I use this to tell what she said to the princess?
By reading its lips.
Joke's on you, I don't have lips.
Oh my!
I have a beak.
Yeah, it's gotta say
Semantics!
specifically beaks.
Oh yeah, because it's a kinku and they just mimic. They don't actually talk.
Yeah, they just open up their beak and they go, "Hello, how you doing?" You know,
Caw, caw.
no flapping required. Okay, I'm gonna let either Miyoko. Did you whispered it, so I'll allow a insight versus deception.
Yeah. Slightly good at those.
Then you can definitely tell.
Please load. Okay.
Boom.
Oh
21.
my God.
Michael, I want to use my inspiration.
Oh,
You're bursting it so
What?
Oh my god.
all right, Otto.
Oh shit!
Oh my god.
What?
Well.
21 versus 21. Okay, do or die now. It's gonna be the same rolls.
I run him through with my sword. Sorry. Fuck. Okay, here we go.
Normal roll, right?
Yeah, normal roll.
20
Oh,
words.
So yeah, you can definitely.
I can only roll these 2 numbers.
I can only roll a 2 to 1.
So yeah, you pick up quite a bit of what was spoken.
Okay, I don't say anything about it.
I can't wait till like the end of the campaign. You know, when Miyoko is like, like trying to save your life, and then Sebastian goes, "I knew, in that moment you were a spellcaster."
That's no, I can see like some like big climatic moment, and like Miyoko's trying to cover up, and like Sebastian's just like, "Your magic shit," and then like just jumps out the window or something like that. Like, what? What do you mean? I knew it all along.
And a whole arc to bring Sebastian back. You bastard! So yeah, you get strong, hearing audible of what was said, and you keep it to yourself. 85 zooms in like a rocket, perches themselves on Sebastian's shoulder, just kind of looks around, and looks at the food and says, "Tactful observation. This food looks delicious. I'm practicing niceties."
Niceties. We need to go over your vocabulary. Politeness? Is that what you mean?
rudeful exclamation. How dare you?
I don't know if I like this or hate this. This is jarring, to say the least.
Name flies in shortly after and just kind of flumps onto Lilpa's head. Yeah. And starts like doing a little bzz, bzz, bzz,
She like
shocking you.
she reaches up with like one hand to like pat it while like still like like going on her second plate now. Like, oh, good soup.
Kimmy barges in again. I got more wine!
You like jump over Valdra's head.
And I
Valdra's
lay
like,
it
"Oh my
down
God."
gently in front of Valdra.
Dink. Kimmy, how is it that you are so agile, but you attended a college of poets and songwriters?
A lot of adventuring?
I don't really recall college's era being so dedicated to adventuring.
Oh, I did all this on my own. Yeah, there's like a jungle near the Bard College that I would always go into, and I would always get in trouble by Helios, but that's besides the point. Anyways, so you gotta do a lot of climbing, a lot of swinging on ropes and like vines and stuff, and it's so much fun.
And how long have you been doing this? Were you like a child? Where was your, your parents?
Well, my mom died when I was really little, and the professors, they took me in, and they take good care of me, and yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your mother. If it's any consolation, both of my parents were killed in the purge that happened a couple years back, so I understand. So he looks back at Anaru and says, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up that moment."
It's still fresh. But Kimmy, what about your father? I'm sure he was a loving, doting father. Took great care of you.
Well, he wasn't around very much because he had a lot of tours, because he's a pretty big known bard, so... But I don't blame him. Like, I would want... If I was a big, famous bard, I'd be out, seeing the world and doing things.
So he did not care for you?
No, that's what I said. My professors took me in. And they took really good care of me. And Lilipa also, was there for the last couple of years.
Lilipa, do you remember your parents?
Kuatoa do not have parents. It is the concept of family I took time to get used to. We are born from egg pools, and we raise ourselves until we are ready to walk.
Maris speaks up. He goes, there's something similar to how my people were before I joined the monastery.
You are born in egg pools.
No, but our family units were more of a collection of everyone together.
I've yet to meet somebody else born in an egg pool. One day.
Name kind of a little zap.
It depends on how deep a pool goes.
Were you born in an egg pool, Miyoko?
Pool of 3?
Baldra goes, yeah, Kinku are born from eggs.
It's a weird process.
What about you, Sebastian? Were you born in a pool?
No. That would be different type of creature.
I mean, you are a Yontai, isn't that correct?
That's correct.
Your father and mother wasn't one of those half snake people by any chance? She looks a little worried.
Oh yeah, was your father like part snake above and your mother was like snake on the bottom, but it just worked out perfectly that you look like a person? Do you have a brother that just looks like a regular snake?
Trap card.
You don't just ask people if they look like regular snakes.
I can picture like teenage Sebastian coming home, and then his dad's like got like glasses, giant snake with like a newspaper, and like Sean.
His sister's name is Susan.
If it makes you feel any better, none of you look like real people to me.
I guess we're all kind of misfits.
Maris replies, "I wouldn't want it any other way."
Yes, it's our differences, I guess, that bring us together.
That and the end of the world.
Well, that too, and the very dangerous sorcerer wizard who is forcing us to do this. But yes,
Well, I wouldn't have it any other way. And then she like holds up a glass of water because she doesn't drink wine at this point. And she goes, to our crew.
to family.
Paris holds up, "To justice."
They're making big money.
Valdra goes, "To a brand new future for Tethys." She looks around. Yes, yes.
Wolfa just like reaches up and like raises like one of Name's tentacles to I'm sorry, I am not good at these. Kimmy will do them unprompted and I am never really prepared.
I'm sorry. Also, you might want to grab the cup next to you.
Oh, I wanted to include Name.
Oh, well maybe both of you can hold the cup.
Okay.
Let me give you a suggestion, Lullaby. This one you'll remember. Whenever she does this, just stick your hand up in the air with your cup and say "Big Dick Energy."
Is this pre big dick energy conversation?
Is it?
or post?
No, it's post.
No, that happened on the boat. So yeah, this is after Big Dick Energy.
Nice.
Okay. Too big dick energy. And like she'll pick up a cup and it's just empty because she hasn't even poured herself anything yet.
Kimmy goes, also you could include something that you really want and love.
Okay. To Kimmy's happiness.
Aww. It's a little piece of happiness. I'm adding that on to mine.
Thank you, Kimmy. Very thoughtful.
Kimmy looks at Sebastian. What will you drink to?
He's just kind of like sitting there, like he's been kind of like disconnected for a minute after the last conversation. And he probably just kind of was like, I guess, to, I guess fixing things and
We could drink to you finding that music that you like.
"85 goes, observation, I like the bongos."
We could add bongos to the Sebastian song.
Wait, what do you mean, Sebastian's song?
I'm writing a song about Sebastian.
Why?
Because he's so cool.
Kimmy likes to write songs. I have
What?
an album dedicated to me somewhere.
Oh man, I should bring that out. Oh wait, we got a drink. Yes, let's drink.
And you all clink your drinks together and have a wonderful time eating some mashed eel. As we fade out to our first break.
Ah!
So we'll be back in about 15 minutes, and we'll continue with part 2 of Season Time. We'll see you then. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to part 2 of our session tonight for Seas of Time. Glad to have you aboard as we continue this wonderful little cozy RP episode before the big one next week. So yeah. After our party had gathered around and had a wonderful little meal, everybody began to disperse and make their way to their appropriate areas to work on or relax or do whatever their heart's content as the boat sails its way through the star-filled skies above, with the moon as bright as can be shining down on the ship as it coasts its way through these chains of islands. One party in particular, Sebastian, you make your way up the stairs to kind of collect yourself. And as you kind of just hang on the side of the rails of the ship and kind of look at the islands, you could see little tribal people coming out and, tending to their huts and, tending to their crops and working on ships. And you could see like one of them is bringing, like, kind of carrying like a kid, like on their shoulders, and bringing them into the like little hut where the little fire is lit and illuminating out of the hut. And 85 goes, "Inquiry. It seems that your heart rate increased after that moment of discussion. Why is that so?"
No, I'm here. Trying to think how best to word this to a non-organic being. It started to make me feel a little uncomfortable, given the mood that everybody was going for, and I didn't want to hinder that.
Analysis. You shouldn't be afraid. Those that care will stay. Others that disrupt your words, you should not care for.
Well, I mean, that's easier said than done.
Observation, you do not trust them.
I trust them. It's just there's certain things that even people I trust, like not okay just divulging that information willingly.
85 just kind of perches on the rails and then looks outside. Retorts, then who will it be for? How will they earn it?
I mean, that's something I don't know. I just when they asked like what to do the toast thingy for, I mean, I could easily said like to not repeating what happened in the past, but one that would make them probably unhappy, and they're having a good time tonight, and with everything going on, I don't want to mess that up for them, let alone then trying to explain to all of them like I'm trying to explain to you.
Statement. It seems that this Kimmy Sea Singer really does care for you, asking for your input where it wasn't required of her.
And she's a curious one.
Observation. It is a weak-minded thing to let yourself exposed to others' inputs. Or so my master said.
Well, I think there is some truth to that, but I mean, it's also equally good to have someone or someone's that you can entrust with information that is close to you, but sometimes you do that and then they end up twisting it around and screwing you over with that information that you give them. So that kind of is partially why I'm very skeptical.
Observation. It seems that you have experienced a lot of betrayal.
That's pretty close to it. I think that's where one, no offense to you, but I mean, you're not a squishy like we are. And two, you tell me what happened to you in the past, and I think that's where we have a connection there. So I'm a little bit more lenient to divulge to you initially.
Mockery. Should I get the squishy squid to listen to your woes?
Oh god, no. That thing, like, I don't, no, not right now. That
Statement. While I am a non-organic, I have capabilities, understanding. My masters would call it sentience, self-awareness. It is both a curse and a blessing. But with your giving me a chance of a new life, not bound by the same chains of my former masters, I can more freely explore my thoughts than I ever could with him. And he 85 turns towards you, eyes glowing bright. Commentary. I should thank you. So I will. Thank you.
I mean, you're welcome. Maybe you don't have to say that, but it is appreciated. I don't want, maybe you can see my concept of, I don't know if I call it retribution, or you and myself and some of the others. I don't want that to happen again to them, of being shackled in any form.
Observation. Then let us be ever observant of our enemies, and let us make them pay. The Federation, from what the others have told me, are remnants from my masters. And I would very much like to do away any ties to them. Your monk friend thinks they can be used. But any ties to the tower is doomed from the start.
That's a double-edged sword. I mean, I'm aware of that. Just like I'm aware of dealing with Nebulon and all that jazz. Partially, I'm curious of what his research has garnered him. I also know that anything long-term wouldn't be fortuitous for any of us. But sometimes you have to go along with that little song and dance for a little bit till you can really get a leg up on them. And then you can pull the rug out from underneath them. If you want us to resolve the Federation, I'll do what I can to assist you in that. I'm sure there's others that will agree with that as well.
Answer. For us to properly facilitate the destruction of the Federation, it seems that we have to have as many allies to us as possible. So, let's just keep these heroes, his Burnham's like gives a little quotation mark, close to us, and use them. And in return, we will trust them. But if they betray us, and the eye grows bright, we shall kill them with the Federation. And Maris takes a few steps behind you. Am I interrupting?
No, I'm just watching the water.
And 85 goes, query, monk. How long do you think your ties with the Federation will last? With you being a talon of the cane. Monk takes a step forward. Hey, look, we had to do what was necessary to get off that island and to not be subjugated by the Federation. If anything, I don't need to explain myself to a construct like yourself. So I would kindly ask that you step off. 85 goes, answer. It seems that you deflect by labeling me an object. I will let it go. The buck looks at Sebastian and says, do you think I made the right decision there? Going into that Federation and signing that deal, I've come to regret that decision. But it's hard to tell. And he kind of looks off at the coast and kind of like rubbing his head.
I think you were a fool for doing it. But I think pretty much anybody is prone to foolish whims. I mean, I think that's partially why we all ended up on this endeavor.
I just want to stop making these mistakes. He turns towards you. I want to do better. By you, Sebastian. By Kimmy. By Lillipa. By Naru. By even Miyoko. I want to be the ally you need when the times get tough. Even help out our bird friend here. Kind of glares at 85.
I know he's a sumbitch.
85
But-
just like looks at you, like tilts its head. Like, really?
But he's our sumbitch.
There smiles. I'm glad to have met you, Sebastian. You're a good person. I can see that. You know, you've helped us out so much. You could have went your own way on Cape Doklu, made your own ship, perhaps, knowing you. But you stayed, and I don't know. I think that shows a lot about you.
Man, if I did that, I would have to be fixing this damn ship up with Lyric. I don't know what it is about him. He's always breaking this damn ship. But that's besides the point. Just if you do stuff like that in the future, I guess just try to be as transparent as you can.
You can see, like, he looks down at the floor, and there's just so much to unpack, and going back here to where it all started. And he folds his arms, but enough about that now. Just like to look at the sea here and unwind. And you see, like, in the darkness of the night, as like clouds kind of move over the moon, kind of basking the ship into a darkness, except for the glow of the torch lights. And you see, like, Maris just kind of take off his mask. You can only see like a silhouette of his face as like wind kind of passes through, and he kind of like tilts his face up to kind of bask in in the wind. And yeah, and as
Before you cut away, Sebastian probably would stare off in the distance as he does, and he'd idly run one hand over wherever on his person he has that journal from that wizard,
mhm.
and then like kind of idly fidget in that spot, and the same notion, like as if he's checking to make sure it's still there, and then also kind of hand drifting over and finding where he has the corodium and doing the same thing, just like almost like OCD, like, is it there? Okay, it's there.
Like my car keys all the time.
Yeah, pretty much like, do I have my keys, my wallet, my watch, my phone? Okay.
And as you kind of take in this moment, we pan over to the ship. At the steering wheel, we have Inaru. Just kind of lazily, just kind of drifting it along. No real effort. Where is the Kimmy token? Oh, there she is. Couldn't see. Coming up the stairs is one Kimmy Seasinger.
Kimmy like has dancing lights kind of like fixated on her journal, and she's like writing with a pen and like walking at the same time, mumbling to herself.
Don't get too close to the edge. Be a shame if your work washed away with the water.
Oh, maybe you can help me. What rhymes with Sebastian?
Orange.
That's a tough one. His name does not rhyme well with most words.
She just kind of like paced back and forth, like, yeah, that's why I'm having a hard time with this song, because, like, you know, a lot of things rhyme with, Kimmy.
Like what?
Like Panini.
I guess if you squint or like kind of plug your ears, it sounds a little bit like it rhymes.
I'm not sure what rhymes with Anaru. You know, I made a song for you. It was actually when we first met. And, you know, do you want to hear it?
I feel as if I say no, I will still hear it. So, you know what? Go ahead.
Oh, okay. And she, like, pulls her lute from behind her back and, like, pulls it forward. She kind of starts strumming, and she's like, Anaru, Anaru, he's clever and he's fast. Anaru, Anaru, he, what did I put for that fast?
He's got a big.
He's got a big ass.
Don't be.
We brought it into the session. It's canon now. It's a common term for those that people are endeared to.
She like gets out her journal and she's like, what was that? What was it again? And Naru, he's clever and he's fast. Naru, he'll cut you straight in half.
It's clever. I like it.
Wait, and I'm not done. And don't be discouraged. He'll keep us encouraged through the ocean, Anaru, Avarak. Or Avarak? What was your last name again?
It's, Avarath.
Avarath. Anyway, I want to make a song for Sebastian that's equally as, peppy, but also we haven't really discovered what his music taste is yet, which will be a whole nother venture, of course. And she kind of just trails on about Sebastian.
Have you tried just putting a bunch of nuts and bolts into a jar and shaking it?
Huh. You know, that might be an interesting, sound.
It's got some nice percussion to it.
I'll have to give it a shot. Yeah, thank you, Anaru. They're really helpful.
It's the least I could do. Thank you for the company. It's been a rather quiet night.
I know I mentioned it before, and I just want you to know that I still would love some training from you, because, you know, when I see you fight and you go in there, especially with your shadow guy, it's so inspiring.
And the Echo apparates next to her with his arms crossed and his chest pumped up and his hair blowing in the wind.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same exact feeling I get when you guys go into battle.
It's nice to be encouraged so often to want to protect others. And I feel like you've kind of opened my eyes to wanting to make sure that you and the rest of us stay safe.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for, to keep up morale. But like I said, I would love to know some pointers, because, you know, one day I would like to be respected and looked up to as much as you are, Anar.
I don't know about all of that, but I suppose I could give you a few pointers.
I mean, you guys caught a big fish, and that's pretty impressive. But I always thought Lilliput was impressive, so there's nothing new there.
Yes, she is quite the quite the friend to have handy when you need things done or killed and ripped into many tiny pieces.
You should see her play the drums. Like, she's great at it.
I did that night. Oh, never mind. That's
Just
I
kidding.
feel
my
like I'm
dream.
seeing the future.
In my dream, Lilliput was on the drums and you were singing, and Miyoko was like doing this little dance with a smoke screen.
I've heard her bang on the bathroom door. It's she's got a good beat.
She's always had rhythm. What were you saying, Toby?
I just said nice save.
Oh.
Anaru and Lilliput are like rooms apart, one room apart, and Lilliput just plays the drums all night, and he's just like, "Oh my god!"
There's something banging on the hull.
You know, I can take over driving if you wanted to be with your, you know, your better half.
You mean the princess?
Yeah, I see the way you guys look at each other.
It's complicated.
How so?
Well, she is royalty. What was royalty, and I am just captain of the guard.
Well, according to her, she wants to be treated like a normal person. Wouldn't you like to as well?
I wish it were that simple. It's ingrained in every fiber of my being just to respect her and want to keep her safe and, worship the ground she walks on and, that kind of thing.
Let me think about it. So, she's the princess, and you have to take orders from royalty, right? So you have to obey everything they say, right?
Yes, for
And
the
she
most part.
said that she wants to be treated like a normal person. So if you didn't, then technically you're going against her orders, right?
I see where you're going with this.
So you kind of have to go down there and talk to her now. She practically spelled it out.
I'm no I'm no good at talking to women.
Oh, well, here. And she, gets out of, she, shreds a piece of paper out of her journal, and she, writes something, and then she goes, here you go, take this, say this to her, and she will melt. But don't open it till you see her, okay? You promise?
I
She looks at you with puppy eyes.
and he kind of peeks. I can't say this.
You have to! She wants you to!
I was kind of hoping it says, what rhymes with Sebastian?
Please help me.
I just thought you handed him a scroll of fireball.
I'll make it hot.
You read it to her and she melts.
Not literally.
I'll think about it. I'll keep this in the back of my mind. It's just it's weird. My whole life she's been this beaming beacon of hope that I've sworn to protect at whatever cost, and now she wants to be viewed as equals. It's going to take some time for me to be ready to accept that.
Okay, but I'm just saying, if you knocked on her door and you just said the thing on the note, I'm just saying, she would definitely melt. 100%.
Perhaps another night after I've mustered up enough courage or had a few too many drinks.
Oh, if that's all you need. And then Kimmy's going to do... heroism. And she's gonna slap him on the back and be like, here you go, buddy!
I appreciate what you're trying to help me with, but I don't think this is the type of liquid courage that I needed.
Well, at least you have all the bravery and you can't be frightened by it. It's almost as if you could just go knock on that door right now.
You're getting trumpets sounding in your heart, Anaro. You're getting that march into the battle trumpet noise. And you just feel like a glowing sensation purging through your body.
I mean, if you think it'll work.
Oh, I know it will work. And she plays the lute to play you off.
Kimmy is starting to look like a sunrise, even though it's dark at night, she starts brightening up around you, and you feel like there's a fire inside.
If this doesn't work, I know where you sleep.
Trust me, it's gonna work.
Anaro, you rush down the stairs, and You walk all the way past to Valdra's room. You see the door's shut.
Oh, bummer. She's sleeping already. Guess I'll just try tomorrow. And he'll kind of fumble into the door as the ship rocks.
As you fumble in, you see that she is not there. But as you look around, you hear, Anaru, what are you doing? And you turn around, you see that she's behind you.
No, there was ruffian broke into your quarters. It went out to the window. I was making sure that the premises were safe. You're free to enter your cabin. Yes.
She like smiles and like looks past you like, oh, I think I see them. Oh, yes. And she like walks past you and she gets like a big goofy grin on her. And she like looks out the window and you get like a flashback almost. Like it starts flooding your mind of you two, like little kids, going through the grand royal halls of the Kingdom of Tethys capital castle, and just kind of looking around the corners, flanking the butlers of the times and planning pranks and all that good measure, and just cackling and laughing when you get one over on the butlers there. Just kind of laughing and enjoying yourselves as you go through like a montage of all those moments. And then like she looks back at you again and smiles really big, and then it kind of fades back into the present. And she's like just looking back at you and says, I've really missed you, Anaru.
I feel the same. It's a relief to know that you've been alive and well all these years.
It's been a rough couple years, so won't lie, but
You've
what is that in your hands?
It's nothing, and he'll crumple it up and drop it and kick it away.
Oh no! Wait! There's something written on there. You trying to write
Nope.
something? She like grabs it. Like,
No,
over her hand. Like come on, just let me.
Valdra, feel my armor. Do you know what it's made of?
She's like just puzzled look. Like what?
It's made of Prince material. He mutters like under his breath.
You hear Kimmy cackling.
Why don't you do a performance check for me?
Oh, Jesus.
And then he remembered that
Cancer
Kimmy is a
now.
teenager.
Hey, I'm 20. I just stunted.
She
14.
like she looks at you for a moment, and you think like you just feel like the cringe just over enveloping you, and then as you kind of like urge down, you know, like clutching
This is
yourself,
why
you just hear her go, "Oh my god, I get it!" And she just starts like laughing hysterically.
Yes, quite the jokester, that's Anaru.
No, that's the best material you've ever said. I mean, oh my gosh, like you must have been improving your jokes over the years, because that killed me.
It was, yes, it took me quite a while to come up with that one, but there's plenty more where that came from. Just give me a few days.
Of course, keep those jokes up. I need a good laugh like that. Thank you, Anaru.
It reminds me of the fun we had roaming the castle halls, chasing the butler with our swords and saying that we were going to have him imprisoned for life for not giving us the cookies that we wanted after dinner.
She like does another big grin and says, "Yeah, those were. Sorry, it's hard to think think of the castle. The last I left it, it was so hectic and chaos, and you can see like she's just feeling a whole lot of emotions, trying to come to terms with what happened."
I think back fondly of those times. They were simple. They were perfect. Not a care in the world for us. Just roaming around, doing as we pleased, having fun.
And she looks up at you and says, "But now we have a mission. We'll take back our castle. We'll take back Tethys."
We will.
Under a new banner. Not of Ordum or Akia, but of Moa. He will be the guiding light for our new kingdom. It has to be.
I agree. I think there is need for change. But what of the other people within the kingdom who don't agree, who don't wish to follow?
They'll have to, Minoru. It's the only way we're gonna have peace. Ordum is a hateful, spiteful god. You have to understand this. There's no way for us to exist alongside people that cling to that god. Even Akia. I don't know if you know of our history with Akia, but she had brought many holy wars under her reign.
Yes, she wanted to expand her influence and would force it upon others who were unwilling.
It wasn't that she was real. She was just an idea that was used. Akia symbolizes order, structure, unity. But in those tenets, it brought authoritarianism, it brought surveillance, it brought control. With Moa, he does not want those things. He wants a constant flow of change and the breaking down of the illusions we have for ones that we could truly believe in to make us all happy. Look, we don't need to discuss this now.
I know where you're coming from, though, and I agree. I do. I just think that some people are so stuck in their ways that change is difficult. Myself included.
Do you still believe in her? Akia?
It's not so much as a belief as it is just, when it's all you've been taught, and until recent findings, it's hard to break the cycle.
But you have been gifted a gift of Moa. You will in time learn of the true beauty that Moa can bring to person. I've seen it. The powers that he's gifted me. To bring Tethys into a new age. Where we don't wage holy wars. We don't exterminate people for their differences, but we accept them for who they are. And in time you'll learn to abandon Akia. Because even though most of the world believes she is good, I've only known her for pain, misery, and suffering.
I feel that someday I will be able to wipe those memories from my mind. There were times where I called out for assistance, for help, for guidance from her, and was completely ignored.
Look, there's no time for this. We should just relax and try to unwind from all that has happened. And celebrate that we have done our part in freeing him. So, I bet you tell me another joke of yours.
There was one that I heard Sebastian practicing, and he'll reach into his pocket and pull out just like a piece of parchment and tear it off and hand it to her, and he'll say, "Here, this is good for one entry to the gun show." And he'll like flex like he saw Sebastian while he was working on his working with his equipment, and it wasn't really flexing, but he's just kind of putting it all together and trying to be funny.
She just kind of gives you that, like, he's really trying smile, and then like leans in and gives you a big hug and says,
And a kiss.
"No kiss yet." And it pans away. The
No!
door
You
Get
get
her, Oscar.
right back in that scene right now, and you make out.
It doesn't just happen like that.
Where did this bearded dwarf come from?
You kiss now.
Kiss.
Kiss or I'm going fishing.
Nobody, all the viewers don't understand.
Okay, so let me get
I understand, Oscar.
2 meta.
Oh, art.
The Lord Master's like, who is Art? Who is Oscar? Oh my god, what the hell?
You'll never understand.
Nara and Vulture are just standing there looking around at all these weird voices coming through the boat.
Moa?
I think our ship is possessed.
We're under attack.
I told you there were ruffians about.
And yeah, so we pan away as they're in a tender embrace. The door closes, and we cut away to the dining room table as Lilliput, you finish up the last remnants of Kimmy's mashed eel. That is slightly rare, slightly medium cooked. It's pretty delicious. As Miyoko, you poured the last bit of wine from Larrick's seemingly endless, bountiful amounts of wine.
Miyoko is cringing so hard listening to that conversation through the wall.
Your head's just kind of.
He's Prince material.
Hell yeah, he is.
Why do you look like you are in pain?
Because I am in pain.
I do not understand. They were
We
just talking.
told you about faux pas, yes?
I do remember this.
It's kind of one.
I think they are just two people that like each other a lot.
Oh, you know, you think they like each other, eh? So you have experience, eh?
I guess you could say that.
Oh, we got ourselves a pretty boy shark 1,000 years ago, eh?
Hmm.
I don't know that in canon, eh? I don't
He
think
was Kuatoa.
Was he oh geez, I don't know what you would like. Was he opulently moist?
She just like her face is like I was like
That's just so good.
he all Kuatoa, they have the slime. It is just part of our natural she just kind of like raises her arms.
Yeah, but some of them is better than others, no?
I think you are misreading the situation.
Grasping at straws because I don't know anything about your culture? Yeah.
Where I came from, there was no marriage and no families. Yeah. She's like, it's like, I scratches her head. She's just like, this is weird to talk about. But at some point, if my life had not taken the direction it would have, I would have gone and laid eggs in a pool with all the other women in my village, and then we would return and pretend it never happened. And then, eventually, about 6 months later, new Kuatoa would come to our village.
Hey, but you know what was going on, yes? That's why I've never seen you embarrassed before.
He was okay.
That is very high praise coming from you. Usually you just say how much you want to eat them.
I think he was more about a relationship than I was. But I would not have said no.
You know, I envy you. I had a boy once. He was nice. He was charming. But he got eaten by a troll. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
I killed mine.
Yeah.
He asked me to.
Kind of saw that coming. He
did it to save my life. And
Oh.
I am thankful for that.
God, so he was like hot and committed and heroic too. Sheesh. You ever tell Kimi about this?
I have not, but I suppose I should be more open with
You-
what I tell others.
You have a story that you only told me? Oh. If I remember this tomorrow, I will be so touched.
How about you and a story?
I just told you one.
It was kind of boring.
I didn't have that many. there was so like I had a dojo, right? Or my dad did. My father had a dojo, and he taught a bunch of students at one time, and they were like bird people like me, right? And there was this guy who was like he was like me but like big, and he had like black feathers. Whew, he was good to look at. And he fought like there was this governor who was like, he really didn't like us, and he sent over some goons to like harass us, and this guy like went out there and he just cut them all in half, like in like 2 seconds. And I think that was like the first guy I ever liked. Was like
The guy who cut others in half.
yeah, that guy. You
I
good,
think I
great,
can relate.
right? You know, sometimes I get reminded because you're both like, you know, muscular, and you both like you're like a walking fantasy blender.
It's like, okay.
Whatever the equivalent of a blender is in a fantasy setting.
It's Lilliput.
It's little.
I am the blender.
Let me sell you the magic bullet.
Lilliput here today to talk to you about ShamWow. Now that
Well, Lilith, I'm
getting back on track. Sorry.
I am so glad that you have shared with me this story. I'll try to sync up something as heartfelt as you gave me, because I feel like I kind of gave you like a guy I had to crush on, and you kind of gave me like a really tragic backstory that, like, you know, is really meaningful to you. So I like give it the whirl sometime, you know?
I guess I should probably focus on telling people happier stories. It is tragic, but I tend to not hang on to those types of things. What happened happened. I am here. He is not.
Did you you didn't like eat him, did you?
No.
Okay, just checking. I didn't know if that was a thing. Like, I'm going to bed. Night, Liliput.
She just like just says, good night.
And then Miyako stumbles out because she drank way too much.
Do a con save for me.
Oh,
as you
Christ.
end the night.
Look what you did.
This is the paradox.
Look what you did to yourself.
Will Miyoko nat 1 and instantly die, creating a...
I don't know if
I don't know.
he won't
I
show
rolled
the
blind.
viewers.
Yeah. The viewers will never know. What did I roll back?
They rolled a 15. So Miyoko's doing pretty good as they crash into their bed for the night. Lilliput, you're left there for a little moment. And you can see that everybody's kind of settling for the night. And coming out of the end of the hall, you see a tabaxi just kind of bumbling his way. Is that smashed steel?
What is left of it, yes.
Oh, my favorite.
Shouldn't you be sleeping?
I think I've slept enough.
Well, then here. And, like, she pushes him, like, the last bit of eel that she was gonna just garble down.
He looks at it, is about to, like, put it and scoop it up with a spoon, then he's like, wait. Now don't eat meat. Pushes it aside. Oh, almost had a lapse there.
Oh.
Sorry.
It is okay. And she pulls the plate back. Why do you not like meat?
Reminds me of a past self of mine that I don't really like to remind myself of.
Eating meat gives you bad thoughts.
Well, I don't want to spoil your appetite, if that's possible.
Try me. And like she like starts working on the last plate.
Well, many years ago, as I've told you, I worked with the Federation. And touching that pyramid a couple of days back gave me... It sort of unlocked that part of my brain I repressed. That time working with the Federation, it was... I don't know. Going into my work, I felt like a predator. I would seek out subjects and do terrible things to them. Now, I wouldn't eat them. But just going home after every surgery and every experimentation, and I would sit down with a nice steak, and I don't know, I've always associated eating meat with that work of mine because it's all sorted. And he kind of fumbles his words a little bit and stares off at the kitchen. The lines became blurred. You know, how you dissect a steak with a knife and a fork is exactly how I dissected my patients. And he puts his hand over his head, his face. And Lilliput, I don't know what happened one day, but I felt it. I felt the pain, the misery, the guilt just flood over me. And I threw it all away. I ran from it all. It was a liberating experience for me, but I had to push it all down in order to survive. I couldn't live with that guilt. My body found a way to do that. So now I eat vegetables and fruit.
She's like chewing and she's just like, I think I understand. Although I would hate for this to become one day associated with something bad. I think I would miss it. However, I think you are doing something that is good for you, and you should be proud of that.
He nods. I am thankful to have you all here. It feels more particular that I should thank you for saving me the day back with them. I shouldn't have been fumbling around as I did. That was a foolish mistake on my part.
Things happen. I have taken the thing and I have hidden it away. When we have time, I will try to find more information about it. But until then, do not go looking for it.
Kind of smirks a little bit and says, nods. I'll take your word on that. I won't. But Lilliput, did you see them?
Her like eyes kind of brighten a little. He's like, I did.
They were something I've never seen before. In all my years working for the Federation, the experimentations I have on many various creatures, I've never seen ones like that. They were somehow fractal and piercing through dimensions. It was overwhelming to look at them. And then they touched my mind, and all those thoughts came back. All I'm saying is I'm terrified of the days to come. Seems like there are events happening beyond our control, and from what you've told me, you found something in those ruins. A man? What did you exactly find in those ruins?
He's referring to, out of character, he's referring to like the thing with like Maris's punchy boy and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, what you found in the Xenosium ruins in Cape
Okay,
Doklu.
okay. I was like, ruins? The fuck is he talking about?
You know, like 2 months ago when we had this arc.
I gotta go. Hold on, I gotta open up OneNote real quick.
It literally just happened 2 days ago in character.
We found many things. There was, of course, that man that we told you about who was working on experiments. I guess kind of like you, in a way, but he has not changed his ways. And then, as we got deeper, we found something. She kind of like just it scratches her head. It's like, it seems we have more enemies than originally thought.
Everybody's told me the same story, that they saw a bright white flash hidden. You cracked a dome of, like a prism throne. Is that right?
It was something like that, yes.
And he like pulls something out of his back of his pants, and it's like a journal. Lays it down. Does it look something like this? And it's you can see that it's a drawing of like a prismatic throne that's like multicolored glass.
She like pull the journal closer and look at it and be like, yes, this was it. Did you draw this?
Years ago.
That is strange.
What I've figured out years ago, when I'm sure you ran the time of Xenos, but Xenos was created because they did away with the gods. They tried to make their own destinies.
Are you talking about they did not want to believe in Kia anymore?
Exactly. Hakia, Zira, Laka. And he points down at the throne. Moab. And this man we met in the volcano, Nebula. Why did he lead us to these ruins?
Do you think it is not for artifacts like he originally asked for?
know. I know a liar when I see one.
I mean, you did not have to look hard to see that that man is a liar.
He slowly nods, but what is he getting at? What does he have to achieve by keeping this from us?
Hmm.
He kind of like almost like slumps over, like, oh, excuse me, I'm still exhausted. He like grabs her hand. I want to be a part of this, Lilliput. I want to help you all. I want to find redemption. I will do what I can to figure out this puzzle. Just, do what you do best.
Can I ask you something?
Of course. Go ahead.
What makes you unredeemed in your eyes?
I want you to roll a persuasion.
I got all the charisma in the world.
Do. You're perfect.
Oh, 19.
He like shakes his head. There's a reason why I know about this throne. I haven't been entirely honest. As I have so much baggage under my weight. But the Federation has even a darker secret. He looks at Lilliput for a moment, stares at you for a moment. The gods are real. And they are here. And he like turns a page of his journal. And like pushes the journal closer to you. And you look, and you see on the journal is an autopsy.
Oh, just like a figure?
Mm-hmm. And it says, and you see in the center of it, it's like this little core, like a little light, and it says, and like arrows drawn to it, and it says, Laja, essence to be recovered and used.
How do you spell Laja?
L-A apostrophe J-A.
She like points to like the word. She's like, "What is this?"
It is the life force of what makes this planet magical. Or so we believe. These gods, they inhabit its essence.
She kind of like just like while looking at this, she like just instinctively like rubs her arm where her tattoo is, and just kind of like squeezes it, and like looks at him. She goes, "All gods are real," is what you are saying.
All of them. And there are some far more worse than the ones we believe in. And he closes the journal. And we're left in silence as you two comprehend the knowledge as the ship sails away into the darkness of the night. And that's where we're going to end our episode. Woo!
Weird.
Hope you guys had a wonderful time with this little side episode as we come into our big epic session next week.
I learned a lot.
We can only infer that Lilliput immediately forgot, because otherwise.
Or she's saving the knowledge for an important moment. To be like, oh, by the way.
I'll say like
Let me just drop this on you.
just like for Lilliput, like she didn't worship these gods, So like it's just like hearing that these gods are real, she's more thinking about like, I don't know, my gods didn't feel that real because where were they when I was like in my own hell zone? So she's just very confused by like Lyric's ramblings and is trying to make more sense of it.
I was thinking Lyric was going to reveal himself to be a god.
I was the god.
Show him show the journal, and it's a picture of him, and he's like, see, it's me. Look, I'm a god. It says so in the book.
See, that's
Written
me
by
on the
me.
throne, and that's
Take
you
that,
guys worshiping me.
Sebastian.
Who's your god now?
It was so hard this whole night. Every time Lyric was there, just not be like, nice hat.
Gods are real, and I have a nice hat.
Michael, I would like to start construction on the God Killer weapon.
It's just a giant ball of catnip.
He's catnip.
Now, Maris, I know you're dedicated to this healer thing, but I really need you to switch to open palm and go get up to level 17. We're gonna need that. But my backstory, no.
No.
See, your god's right there. Kill him.
Yeah.
You want to be a god killer, you gotta level up to be a god puncher.
All right, y'all. So thanks so much for watching. Announcements.
Toby first.
Oh, Toby first, then me, and then Joex.
Yeah, that's
While I give this announcement, is my little Lilliput icon bouncing up and down?
It is.
yes.
Oh God, this just makes me feel so good. All right, so my announcement is that had a great time with Cass while she was in town, and we had a wonderful live session of Resident Evil earlier this week, and it was really great. Next week, though, things will be returning to normal. Normal schedule. It will be actually we're not normal schedule because Toby Tuesdays is moving to a different time. We will now be going at 11 p.m. on Tuesdays, so it's actually Tuesday for me for Toby Tuesdays, and we will be continuing Resident Evil. We just ran into Hunters, which means the game is almost wrapped up, and I am suffering. So next Tuesday, at 11 p.m. Central Time, or what is it, like 9 p.m. Pacific? That will be new Toby Tuesday time. So people that couldn't watch me because I was up too late, well, now's your chance, no excuse.
What time was it again?
I can't believe Toby Tuesday's been alive
11
this whole time.
p.m.
11 p.m. Central Time. Got it.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, for us West Coasters, it's always been Tuesday.
Exactly, Dante. Fuck
Hell
you.
yeah.
Yeah, Toby's looking out for the West Coasters, not you filthy.
As long as I get
West
1 hour
Coast,
in,
Best Coast.
11 p.m. West Coast, it's still Toby Tuesday.
Damn right.
Go
Okay.
ahead, Michael. Make your.
All right, announcements coming up in October, specifically October the 9th, starting there from every Saturday then and then on till the 31st. We're going to have a
30th.
League of Evil one-shot every Saturday. Different kind of theme. Yeah. High-level shenanigans. There's going to be different kind of episodes happening. And then on the 31st, we're going to have a very special bringing it back.
30th.
Oh, the 30th, excuse me. October 30th, we're going to have a very special origin story of the League of Evil. We're going to have them as little brats that are level 10, that little kid level, level 10, where you can only just do so many things. So we'll go back and see the origins of these little cretins.
The terrible tens.
The terrible tens, So stick around. Come see it on October 9th for the very first episode of our League of Evil one-shot. We'll be glad to have you. Also, no more Cyberpunk until potentially it could happen next Saturday on the 2nd. We don't know. We'll see if everybody's up for it. If we do, we'll let you know. Just join our Discord and you'll know when it's happening. Yeah.
Boom,
join our
links are in
Discord.
the chat.
Yeah, check the chat. Okay? Or if you're on YouTube, watching this on YouTube, check the links in the description.
Boom.
Also, we're going to have, after October, none of your business, because it's not the end of October, so just stay tuned. Anyway.
Alright, and then, I'm gonna be streaming every Wednesday now. Woo, at 6 p.m.
Yay!
I have hopes to come up with some spooky games for October, and Toby's gonna join me, hopefully, maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
We'll
I
see.
like spooky games.
We'll see what happens. But also, we have our 12-hour October Halloween stream. That's on the 30th, Saturday the 30th, starting at 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. with the League of Evil. Followed by League of Evil, right? Yes?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
We'll have more, graphics and stuff for it. We're working on it. We're getting there. Also, players, if you haven't signed up for League of Evil games and or time slots for streaming that day, the 30th of October, all the information's in the Discord. Do it now. Also, we haven't come up with our charity for that stream, but it will be a charity stream. So if you tune in for the 12 hours on October 30th, you can donate to the selected charity. We'll have that for you next week.
Does Austin Pets Alive still have that cease to desist against us?
Yeah, we can't even talk about them anymore.
The fact that
Yeah.
you said their name just said we owe them $500.
God damn it.
All royalties have to go to Austin Pets Alive.
Now that's $5,000.
I said Austin Betts a chive.
We're also a cease and desist from them.
Oh, god damn it.
1,500.
God damn it.
What about Austin Bratz?
No.
2,000.
Damn it.
We didn't apparently kick the kid high enough. They just got so upset.
We tried.
We tried.
We tried our hardest.
And we got so far.
But yeah, so come
But in the end,
next week to see
It
the
really
time,
matter.
because then we will have information about things. Also, we'll also have a special announcement for November coming soon. Thank you for watching. Anybody else?
Bye.
Anything else? Okay.
You ever just feel like when you're doing the announcements for Lich's Lair, I feel like I have the charisma of the fucking Fallout 4 radio, Diamond City radio guy.
literally?
Street Dog.
So
Dempsey
saying-
Radio.
So you're saying you're a 10 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
What I hear.
Oh,
Anyway,
and
guys,
wait,
thanks for watching.
and links to our socials, Twitter, and all that jazz in the chat.
So check that out, please. Please.
As well as
Do it.
my Twitch thing. Oh, and it says Saturday, but it's actually Wednesday, and it's every Wednesday. Sorry, we gotta change that later. Anyways, good night.
Good night. Bye.